What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Chill with Chill. We all know, you know what to expect today, man. We got another great show in store. We got a lot of topics. It was an exciting weekend for basketball, or yesterday at least. We had a good game last night. Talking WNBA, obviously. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark met again. It was I wouldn't call it much of a showdown as much as I would just call it a shoot down. Did you watch that show?
I did. I did. And to be honest with you, Ox, me and you already had this conversation. And I had said to you, I think in 5 years tops, I think Caitlin Clark's going to be the best lead guard in the game. I don't think it's going to take that long. I just think it's tops. I think in the next 3 years she could be the best lead guard in the game. And when I say she's the best lead guard in the game, Ox, I mean like it's going to be her and everybody else. That's how good I think she is. So when I look at when I look at her court awareness, not just her court awareness, when I look at things that she needs to improve on, it's small stuff. That effort on defense, I feel like it's there. She can work on getting better. She can work on getting better, getting around pick and rolls. I mean, around screens. She kind of dies on screens a lot. I'm not really feeling that too much. But, I mean, Kelsey plays so good off of her. Every time I watch Kelsey is just so good playing off of her. And I feel like when I'm watching Caitlin, she's one of those players, whether it's the men's or the women's game, it's just basketball. She's one of those players that I watch when I see her, I'm thinking to myself, whenever she has the ball, I feel like something good is going to happen. I don't know what. I just feel like something good is going to happen. She makes Boston so much better. I feel like Boston is going to get better, but the way they ran the floor yesterday, how Caitlin is able to get separation on her shot, she's just going to get better. Her court awareness, whenever I'm watching Boston at the top set that pick on her, and how patient Caitlin is. Like, she doesn't get off the ball quick. She knows when to get off the ball when she sees Boston dive into the rim, even in transition. She knows exactly who she's going to before she goes to him. As good as Angel Reese is, and I think Angel Reese is, I mean, before this is all over, I won't even look too far down the road. But as long as she's got Cordosa or legit 5 with her, as long as she's got Cordosa or legit 5 with her, she's going to be one of the best 4 men in the game, and definitely one of the best rebounders in the game. But Ox, whenever I watch, Caitlin Clark is must-see TV. If you're a basketball lover, Caitlin Clark is must-see TV, no doubt about it.
Definitely. I made a statement saying there was anywhere from 5, 6, 7 to 10 point guards I think passed the ball better than Caitlin. People took it around with it and said that I said she wasn't a top 10 point guard. Right. Chill, she might be. I can't say she's the best point guard in the league right now. I can't say that. But the only reason I can't say that is just because she's a turnover machine. But she's just trying. She's trying things. That girl is. I don't know what it is about her. She's just nasty, Chill.
And the turnovers that she gets, Ox, the turnovers that she gets, a lot of them, like when you see in transition, it's Boston fumbling the ball out of bounds. It's Wheeler catching the ball and dribbling it off her leg. Some of those turnovers, it's not all of those turnovers aren't her. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. I mean, she only had 3 turnovers last night, right? She only had 3 turnovers last night. She had 12 assists. She probably should have, from what I saw, she should have had 15 assists, to be honest with you. She could have easily had 15 to 17 assists last night. Easily. That could have happened.
Only thing with Caitlin is that I think she got to work on is just a little bit of the body language thing. I think that would help her and her teammates get it going. Body language. She spends a lot of time kind of whining about little things, just like just keep playing. I want you to keep playing, Caitlin. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Keep going. Even and it's not only she doesn't do it just when her teammates make mistakes. She does when she makes a mistake. So it's not like she's only getting on her teammates. She's just kind of one of those players that shows it. It's kind of like just get back on defense. Caitlin, don't worry about it. You know, like some of the turnovers she threw like yesterday was just careless. Like the behind the back pass that wasn't anywhere near her teammate went out of bounds. It's kind of like we could have lived without that one, okay? But no big deal. Right. You know what I mean? With Angel Reese, it looks like she's getting more comfortable shooting that 17, 19 footer. If she can get that if she can get that down
Yes.
next season, the season after that, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to start elevating her game a little more, make it
I
to
can deal
where
with that.
somebody has to come out to her so she can
Mm-hmm.
use it agility to get around. But yeah, Indiana's taking care of business. And I mean, when you have 2 number 1 picks back to back, you got to assume that this team is going to be a really good team in the near future.
Sure.
And I don't think it's going to take 5 years, Chill. I think we can go ahead.
That's
and say
top socks. That's as far as I'm going. I ain't going past that. By that time, if she's not in the conversation, then I got it completely wrong. Or if she's not there, then I got it wrong. But no doubt, no doubt about that.
Don't forget though, Chill. Don't forget, Chill. Paige is coming.
Yep.
Hannah Hidalgo is coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's gonna be some other lead guards coming. I don't consider Juju a lead guard.
That's what I was about to say.
So, yeah.
Paige is a bucket getter. Paige is a distributor, but she a bucket getter. But when Paige shows up, I think Paige shows up next season. I think because I think this season coming up, I think this is her last year at UConn. But by that time, Caitlin Clark will already have some years. She already got years on these girls, and she's just gonna get better. Now, the idea of the body language, I just think that's because she's young. That's all. I think that's because she's young and she's trying to learn the pro game. A lot of these women, you know, when they first came in, I think it's the same thing with the men's game. A lot of these guys, when they first came in, they were young. You know, they were ailing. They didn't really know, you know, in terms of adapting to the pro game early. And Caitlin I feel like she's so used to things going her way that getting on the team like Indiana, which isn't very good early, and you know we have to build this. That body language, I think it's going to change because she recognizes that we have to build this and we have to get better. That's just about her being young, and I think that once she recognizes that and she starts to mature a little bit more, I think you're going to see less of that, and I think you're going to see more leadership from her.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I expect them to have obviously not a number 1 pick this year, but they'll still, be able to get a decent draft.
Yep.
This year coming out, so they're just going to keep getting better.
Yes,
for
they
sure.
are.
For
yes,
sure.
They are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was that. The Liberty took care of business last night too against the Storm. I only got to watch like the first quarter of that one, but
I caught the Liberty.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Liberty looked dangerous. Yeah.
Ox, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I like Minnesota because I'm a big fan of Nafisa. I became a bigger fan of her this season, and I'm trying to figure out who's beaten them 3 times, and I just don't see it, Ox. I don't, because the unit that they have and how much better they are than everybody else in a lot of areas. Don't get me wrong. You know, when you get on the floor with, when you get on the floor with Asia Wilson, I mean, it ain't really much. It ain't really much that you could do except try to match that because you're not better, right? But we could be better in the other areas. And like Brianna got served last night. She did. She served them last night. She got busy, and I thought that Sabrina was really solid. I thought she could have done a better job in taking care of the basketball. Also, I don't really know what to do with Courtney. And the reason why I'm saying that, Ox, is because, I mean, I know she plays off the ball. I know she play on the ball too. But they got so many weapons. And then they got Lainey coming off the bench, and she's awesome. You know, she not only does she get out in transition, but you know, she's a glass cleaner too. She's a dirty work girl. So, I mean, they got 7-8 women that when you look at this roster, it's going to be hard to beat them 4 times in a week. It is going to be hard.
Really tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it, y'all. Y'all tap into the WNBA. Playoffs are coming soon. Y'all think it's going to be a great playoffs this year, man. Y'all make sure to look out for that. Definitely. But moving on, Chill.
Yep.
This is jumping to a whole nother side of things. Yep. We got some interesting comments from Dwight Howard. I'm actually going to go ahead and play that clip real quick.
Let's hear it. It's always, whenever Dwight Howard got something to say, it's always something interesting. Because Dwight Howard, he'll say something wow. Don't think for 1 second that he won't say something wow, because he will. Okay, yes, he will.
Let's see.
What's your assessment of Rudy Gobert's impact on defense?
I mean, it's tough to say because, I never want to say nothing negative about any players. But I don't think he deserved those defensive player of the years like he got them. I feel like he's a great team defender. But for what he did to get those defensive player of the years, I don't see it. I don't see him being an elite defender. I see him as somebody who has the size. He's 7'2". So when you 7'2" and you playing with athletic guys and you don't have to do nothing but clean up their mistakes or, just be big in the paint. So, I mean, it's really hard to say that he is an elite defender to have 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. This year, he was actually up in the pick and rolls. He was moving his feet. He was talking more. He was actually being aggressive. The years before that, I think they just gave it to him because of his team defense and how everybody was on the team.
So what do you think about that, Chill? Is that a fair assessment?
No, it's not a fair assessment because, number one, you were a great team defender. Let's be, if we're being honest, that's what you did when you were in Orlando. I'm not gonna say that you didn't clean up a lot of messes. I mean, I'm not gonna say that you weren't a damn good individual in defender, because I think that you were, but it was also during a time when, if you think about when you played, so the league was making a transition, right? The league was making a transition, and the game was going the other way, where the big man was basically getting phased out. The traditional big man was getting phased out. So in the process of the traditional big man getting phased out, guys like you, who primarily played on the block, played post defense, you didn't really have to play perimeter defense because there was no switching, right? Not only was there no switching, you didn't have to guard at the long ball line. You didn't have to hedge nearly as much, because that's not what the game was. It was becoming that. And then when it became that, you started to do that more. But as far as what Rudy did for his teams, that's exactly what you did. Because if you think about what the defensive player of the year is, the defensive player, more times than not, and like I said, I went back 40 years, 30 years I went back, right? I went back 30 years. And over the last 30 years, the defensive player of the year has been a guy who's been on a top 3 defense, with the exception of Marcus Camby, Mutombo. The defensive player of the year has been on a top 3 defense. And with Dwight Howard, right? And with Dwight Howard being on those Orlando Magic teams, with Dwight Howard being on those Orlando Magic teams, they were I think they were a top 3 defense. Dwight Howard was routinely in the top 3 in the league in blocks. He was in the top, I think he was in the top 3 in the league in rebounding. So that's exactly what you were doing. You were manning the paint. You were cleaning up other guys' messes as an athletic big. And I don't think we can talk about the fact that Rudy Gobert being 7'2", you 6'11". So you basically were a footer. And not only were you a footer, you were a super freak athlete. So it's not like you were on the perimeter. And it's not to say that Dwight Howard wasn't a great individual defender, but I think that we're taking away from what exactly it was that he did, what Rudy did as a defender. When he was on that Utah Jazz team, and when he won the defensive player of the year in 18-19, 17-18, he affected that team's defense tremendously, right? So in the process of him affecting that team tremendously, they were a top defense. Same thing in 21. When he won the defensive player of the year in 21, they were a bottom 5 defense with him off the floor. With him on the floor, they were the best defense in the league. And it wasn't just him cleaning up messes. Last season, we're talking about a guy who does a great job in moving his feet, in closing out. Not just closing out, but also being on the perimeter as a one-on-one defender. And on top of that, right? On top of that, how much he makes all of those other guys on his crew better. Because he makes all those other guys on his crew better, that makes him better. I'm sorry, Ox, if I can't slow down Joker. I apologize if I'm having a difficult time with Joel Embiid. I mean, I heard Dwight Howard say they were talking about the dream team. They were talking about the dream team, and he was talking about how if Patrick Ewing was shooting that jump shot at the mid-range, he would bat that. He would get that out of here. Yeah, because David Robinson and Olajuwon were doing such a great job of getting that out of there too, right? I guess you would smack that right back in his face. Give me a break, man. The reality of this is when you have big guys who are the defensive player of the year and anchoring defenses. I think that's a big deal. I won't discount perimeter players, because I do think that perimeter players have a lot to say about being the defensive player of the year. But when you think about what the defensive player of the year is, the defensive player of the year, he affects my team specifically. He affects that team specifically and what we do defensively as a unit. It's not just I'm the best defensive player in the league, because there's plenty of guys who were the best defensive player in the league, but they really didn't affect their team as much. It's just like guys who score a lot of points, but how much is that affecting your unit really? And it's not. So I mean, I think Dwight, I think Rudy Gobert definitely deserved those defensive players of the year, 100%.
Yeah. I hate the comment about, oh well, he's 7'2". He's it's like, yeah, that's what I don't know. That just always irritates me when people say, oh well, it's just because he's tall. Like, yeah, that's a part of it. That's a part of being a good basketball player. That's a part of being a good rim protector. Being 7'2" is not a knock. Like, if he was 6'6", he wouldn't be as good of a rim protector as he is, obviously. So like to try to throw that in there, like, oh, he's just big. Like, yeah, that's a fact. Dwight, if you weren't 6'11", you wouldn't have. So I don't know.
And on top of that, Ox, how many big guys we got in the league? How come everybody ain't doing it? We got a bunch of 7'2" guys in the league, right? We got a bunch of 7'1" guys in the league. I watched Hassan Whiteside as a big guy. Hassan Whiteside is a bit of 7 feet. I was actually in the building the night he pulled down 20 rebounds. It was the emptiest 20 rebounds that I'd ever seen, Big Ox, to be honest with you. And rebounding is a big part, right? Rebounding is a big part of defense. And to say that a guy like Rudy Gobert, he didn't deserve those, I could say the same thing about you. I could say the same thing about you, because if you think about what you were doing, you were just blocking. I could say you were just blocking shots. You were just rebounding, when in reality, no, you weren't. You were doing way more than that, because the guys that you had on your crew with Hedo Turkoglu, right, with Rashard Lewis, with the French Jordan is what they called him, with Jameer Nelson, you didn't have great defensive players on your team. And because you didn't, you were cleaning up a lot of those guys' messes.
Mikael Pietrus.
That's what I'm thinking about, right? Mikael Pietrus. You didn't have a bunch of those guys, but with that being said, you were cleaning up a lot of those guys' messes. And when you were off the floor, that team was not as good defensively. Well, the same logic goes for Rudy Gobert as a defender. With him on the floor, with him on the floor, he makes them so much better defensively, which gives them opportunities to win games.
Right, definitely. So I just wanted to mention that part before we got into the main topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
The main topic being Steph Curry getting to the money. Chill. Mm-hmm. I mean, Steph Curry. It's like that. You know the movie Jerry Maguire, when him and Cuba get, show me the money. I know him and his agent were definitely screaming and hollering about that. Mm-hmm. A 1-year extension that's for the 2026-27 season.
Right.
Mind you, that's technically 3 seasons, because we got the 24-25 this year, and 25-26 next year. And so those two are he already under contract for. This was for not this season, not the next season, but the one after that, 26-27. $62.8 million. $62.8 million. Woo. Damn. Chill. That was not even close to being on my bingo card. Hearing that Steph Curry signed for $70 million for 3 years from now.
Now remember, Ox,
Steph's 36, right?
He'll be 37 in March. He'll be 37 in March. Now remember, Ox, if I could pay you 100, what you think I'm making?
Right.
So him getting that bread, a lot of people look at that and go, yo, that's a lot of bread. Well, if they're going to pay him that, Remember when he's going to be able to get this bread. He's going to be turning 40. That's probably the end for Curry at that point. That's probably the end for him. And in the process of it being the end for him, I wouldn't be surprised if that last year is the year that he announces I'm retiring. So if he's retiring that year, that means that that's where the farewell tour comes in. So that's $62.8 million, Ox. I'm gonna make that back times 5 for this for this tour, right? And ultimately, that was what Clay was looking for, and not the amount of money. No, not the amount of money. Clay wasn't looking for $60 million in the season, but that's the thank you money. That's the money to thank you for everything that you did for us. Kobe Bryant got it the last 2 years. Like, people scoffed at the 2 years, $50 million he got for the last 2 seasons he was with the Lakers. That was thank you money. When Jordan was with the Bulls, when he signed that 1-year deal for $35 million, that was thank you bread. Even though Jay was still awesome, that was thank you money. And the fact that Steph Curry is the problem that we having with Steph Curry, the fact is that he's still awesome, right? I still think Steph Curry's a top 5 player. Some may even argue he's a top 10 player. Some may even argue he's a top 5 player. With that being said, him being still as good as he is, I think that it's a lot less difficult for the draw. That's why they got the second most games on TV. So with them having the second most games on TV, that's going to help viewership. That's going to help sponsorship. This contract isn't going to be nearly as bad as people think it is because it's the last year of the deal. I think Golden State's going to be bad. I don't think that they're going to have a good team this year. I don't even think that Steph Curry is going to be on the Warriors to see this thing through. And the reason why I don't think that is because I feel like the demolition has already started. I think I said this to you a couple of days ago. Clay is already gone. Wiggins is on the block. In the process of Wiggins being on the block, they signed Curry to this extension for these last 3 years. They signed him to this for that last year, so it's a 3-year deal. They didn't make the move to get Lauri Markkanen in because they basically think Pods is the future. So if they think Pods is the future, what are we holding on to Steph Curry for? We holding on to Steph Curry because we're trying to sell tickets. We holding on to Steph Curry because we just opened up a new arena not too long ago, and we need to sell this place out. And Curry is the draw. Still, to this day, at 36 years old, Curry is the draw. It's not because we're still trying to build the championship unit. That window has closed. The Warriors, in my assessment, the Warriors are over as a championship unit. The demolition has started. I would not be surprised if this season, I don't think he would ask for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this season Mike Dunleavy was entertaining phone calls for Steph Curry. And I know that it's ridiculous to say that, but with them entertaining phone calls, it's probably the right thing to do because we're moving on from this chapter of the Warriors if we're trying to build again. But if we just trying to sell tickets, then sure, we holding on to these dudes. 100% we are. But am I surprised about what Curry did? No, I'm not. Absolutely not.
So I missed a minute of what you're saying. My headphones went out, but I caught the end of that, and that was what I was going to ask you about because I've been on that campaign. It's time for Steph to get out of there. You know what I mean? 62 adding 62 mil to the back of this contract, doesn't that make him pretty much unmovable?
No, and the reason why it doesn't is because you're going to end up getting a lot of young players. You might even get, in addition to getting some young players and some draft picks, you might get a young player in there with a contract that's not only legit, but a guy who can fit into what you're doing. And on top of that, you moving him to, I don't know, Charlotte or to a team that I feel like in 3 years could be viable and could make some noise. I would like to see Curry on that farewell tour. I'd like to see him do it in Golden State. So that's not to say that he's not going to come back there because he could very well be back there. But I don't think that in a year, 2 years from now, he's still going to be on the Warriors because I think that there's somebody that's going to say, all right, this thing is clearly over. And I don't think that they would do that to him where this team is bad and we're going to stay bad. I mean, we already seen that with the Lakers when they did that with Bryant. When he started to break down, and with him breaking down, it was obvious that Bryant was over, but they paid him thank you money instead of and they did right by him by paying him the thank you money. It was hard to watch because the Lakers were bad. They had a bad team. And I don't think that the Warriors would do that, though. I doubt that.
Right. Well, I was seeing this extension as a way of them saying, okay, now we're going to try to do something. We're going to try to bring Steph some type of help. Maybe move off of Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to start trying to make some moves to become competitive again, because as currently constructed, I don't see the Warriors being a threat at all. And I don't think that's fair to Steph Curry personally. Let me show this graphic. I want to see what your thoughts are on this, Jill. Okay. So, hold on. Let me see how. So this is. I'm actually gonna move this banner for a second. Okay. So in the 26-27 NBA season, this is the top five basically salaries that year. Giannis is going to, and this, mind y'all, once again, I'm reminding y'all, this is in 3 seasons, 26-27. The Bucks are going to be playing Giannis 74 mil. The Lakers are going to be paying Anthony Davis 65. The Bucks are going to be paying Damian Lillard 63. The Warriors are going to be playing Steph 62.6. And the Nuggets are going to be paying Jokic 59 mil.
Which probably there's some incentive in that, where that 59 mil could very well be 60 mil, right? Because I'm sure that there's some incentives in that, in addition to him, right? In addition to him making what he makes. So, I mean, this isn't surprising to me, because remember, Ox, with the new CBA deal, with what streaming has become, not only what it's become, what it's gonna be in the next 3 years. That's why this money is going up. And on top of that, Amazon is getting involved in this. With Amazon getting involved in this, and now the internet being what it is, this money goes up. And like the cable money, don't get me wrong, ESPN, TNT, or NBC. I'm sorry, because that's where it looks like the NBA is moving to NBC. So with the NBA money moving all over the place, the internet is the reason, and streaming is the reason why this money goes to where it goes. Because I think in the next 3 years, streaming is going to go. It's actually going to be the norm, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is no big deal for the Bucks.
I don't think so. Because I think that when streaming takes off like they think it's going to take off, I think the NBA is going to be even more viable. So ticket sales are going to still be what it is. I think that the NBA is still going to be ridiculously popular, but I feel like with money like this, that's what they're banking on. They're banking on streaming specifically, for this thing to go through the roof.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I got somebody in the lobby that I'm really curious to see how they feel about this contract extension for Steph Curry. Yo, Leaf Diggy, what's up?
Yo, y'all get me?
Yep.
Yeah. The way I feel about it is the same way that Chilltown feel about it, but I'm just gonna word the shit differently. The thing is, this is basically the front office definitely saying thank you. This is also the front office also saying, like, we apologize, Steph Curry. We apologize for letting Klay Thompson walk out the door. We've apologized for letting Kevin Durant walk out the door. We apologize for a whole bunch of things. We apologize for letting Bob Myers walk. You know what I'm saying? And this is also ensuring that the cash cow stays the way it is, because as y'all all know, the Golden State Warriors is an $8.4 billion-dollar conglomerate, and Steph has a lot to do with that. So as long as Steph Curry is in a Golden State uniform until they get, I don't know, maybe the next top pick or in the draft or something like that or whatever. Because if I'm not mistaken, Dirk Nowitzki last year was Luka Doncic's first year. So that might be something in the works. Who knows, bro? But I'm pretty sure that this extension pretty much ends Bleacher Report bullshit ass trade idea. I know y'all saw that. If y'all didn't, it just so happens to have like a 4-way trade. Somehow sending Steph Curry to the Lakers or some shit like that or whatever that was. So that's
Leaf,
basically
that trade I don't think was crazy. It's just that the Warriors the mock trade I saw, it was just that the Warriors got nothing. You can't give up. Don't disrespect the Warriors like that. All right, don't disrespect.
I think the Warriors. That's what it was. I think the Warriors felt disrespected by that BS that Bleacher Report had put out.
The Warriors ended up with Austin. Sorry, in this mock trade, the Warriors would end up with Austin Reeves, and
Ben Simmons,
and a 1 and a 2. Now, last I checked, Ox, Mikal Bridges went for 4 1s. You telling me Steph Curry?
I think he went for 5 1s. I think he went for 5. Right.
So you telling me Steph Curry he's only good for 1 1. That's it, and a 2,
which is crazy.
That's what you're telling me about Steph Curry
and Austin Reeves.
Bringing Ben Simmons into the trade wasn't crazy off the strength that Ben Simmons was a stopgap. If you think about a quarterback, so we're gonna prop him up and maybe he can play a little bit. That way, plus it's an expiring contract. So with it being an expiring contract, we could get it off the books and we could get something substantial for it, because we could show that maybe Ben Simmons could still play, and we could trick a team into giving us maybe your point guard. We could trick a team into giving us two of your first round picks. Maybe we could do that. So, but I'm just thinking from Steph Curry's. I mean, I think I could do better than Austin Reeves, Ben Simmons in a 1. I could do better than that.
And exactly. Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can do better than that.
I could do better than that. I'm good.
Yes, you can. You can do it better than that.
But thank you, though. I appreciate it.
And I think the Warriors felt highly disrespected about that BS trade request. Now, whoever put it in the works, now you know who I think put it in the works, man. I'm not allowed to say it on this panel, but you know who I think put it in the works, man, because that's basically the Warriors saying F whoever made that trade request and F whoever put that trade request in y'all head. So
I don't know, Leaf. I don't think a Bleacher Report mock trade is gonna force the Warriors to give somebody $63 million. But you know,
no, absolutely not. But I definitely because another thing I wanted to speak to y'all on y'all brought up Dwight Howard in Orlando. In those years in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, he won 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards, and I don't even remember who finished behind him. I know the person that did that before him was probably, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Wallace won like 4 and 5 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he won 4 out of 5.
James finished behind him in 2009. Let's see. Yeah, I know James finished behind him in 2009. And I think Tyson Chandler was there in 11. I think it was Tyson Chandler in 11. But
who was Tyson Chandler playing for? He's playing for the Hornets.
No, he was in Dallas. That was the year they won the championship.
What year was that?
11. That was the year they won the championship.
That was 11. He won that year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, yes. If I'm not mistaken, those teams were at least minimum top 5. Them Orlando teams was minimum top 5 in defense. Dwight was all world on defense, man. You can make a case for Dwight being a top 10 all-time defender.
He was the best defensive player in the league. I won't argue that. Mm-hmm. But that was largely due to a lot of the stuff that he said Rudy was doing. He was doing that. Rim protecting, rebounding, man in the paint. It wasn't like he was dropping his ass, getting in the stance on the perimeter, slowing people down. You wasn't doing that. No, it wasn't It wasn't like he was
getting got the way Rudy was getting got on switches.
That's because the game was changing at that point. The game and most people, they go back to what happened in I believe it was the 21 playoffs when they played against the Clippers and man went for all of those threes. Just so you know, he never did that again. I just want to put that out there. He never since he's been in the league. He hasn't done that since he's been in the league. but that's the way the game was going back then. Okay, Dwight Howard is better at closing out, but this isn't about Dwight Howard being a better defender than Rudy Gobert. This isn't about that. No, this is about what Rudy did as a defender and how much it affected his unit, because that's what the defensive player of the year is. If you look at the defensive player, Marcus Smart was not the best defender in the game. No, he wasn't. Right. So if you think about the defensive players of the year, Marc Gasol was not the best defensive player in the league. That's not what was going on. So I'm thinking about what Rudy did for his unit, how much he affected his unit, and how it affected winning. I mean, Utah had the #1 seed in 2021. They weren't a good team. They were a damn good team, and that was largely due to Rudy Gobert.
So hold up. I know, call me crazy, but neither one of y'all's taking. Somebody up here is taking Rudy Gobert all time defensively over Dwight.
But that's not the point, Leaf. That's not the point. The point is just because Dwight Howard may be a better defender than Rudy Gobert doesn't mean that he has the right to low rate or berate his defensive player of the year awards.
Or
I'm saying that the point is who's a better defender. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree with you, and I think just off the strength of like Dwight's prowess in that time defensively, like it's an argument you could put him in as a top 10 all-time defender. Because the thing
that's a fact, Leaf. That's not the point though. Like we're not here to debate about Dwight Howard's defensive abilities. It's about what he's saying about Rudy Gobert. We're not up here.
I don't think about Rudy anyway.
You gotta go back. You gotta go back and check it out though, Leaf.
Yeah, because we do got a full lobby though, Leaf. So we
I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man.
Talk to you, brother.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For sure, Leaf. Appreciate you, fam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what you were saying, Chill. I don't.
No, that's exactly what you just said, Ox. No, just because I'm not a better defensive, that's like saying, yo, Ox, I'm not better than you. Both of us won league MVP. I'm not better than you, so I ain't deserve my league MVPs. Wait a minute,
right? I'm
just not better than you. That don't mean I ain't deserve my league MVPs.
Right.
What the hell?
Got a super chat from Markevian Black. I'm not sure what P2 to P.
Player to player.
Cool. Oh. Mm-hmm. Player to player. Where do y'all rank Dwight all-time defensively?
All-time defensively. I don't think he's top 10 all-time, but you can make an argument for him being top 10. So Russell, Olajuwon, Rodman, Duncan, Garnett, Scotty, David Robinson, Ben Wallace, Jabbar, Jordan. I mean, I feel like that's 10 right there. I think I think you can make an argument for him being in the top 10. Was he a better defensive player than Mutombo? I don't know. Was he a better defensive player? When I think about overall defensive players, not just bigs, but on a perimeter too, I think he was a better defender than Ewing, and Ewing was a damn good defender. Ewing was a damn good rim protector, but I think he was a better defender than Ewing. I think he was a better rebounder than Ewing. But those 10 guys that I named, I don't think he was better than any of those guys. I don't.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think if you rank Dwight anywhere from 7 to 17, I think that's fair.
I'm thinking maybe 8 to 12. Okay. That's as far as I'm going. Yep. Yeah. I'll go as high as 8, but I'll go as low as 12. Maybe 13. I'll go as low as 13. That's as low as I'm going.
Yeah, I won't debate that. I won't debate that at all. Okay, let's see. Aaron Smith, what's up?
Yo. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how y'all doing today?
Yes, sir.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So, Chill. You had said that Dwight. So I heard the whole conversation about Dwight when he was talking to Gilbert. He pretty much was stating that he's not a better defender for him in like the first. I mean, out of being the defensive player of the year for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he wasn't one of the greatest ones. Mm-hmm. It wasn't him saying that he's not a great defender, but he's not one of the best ones out of the 4 that have that accolade. You know what I'm saying?
He said he wasn't elite. That's what he said, which is not true.
But he was comparing it to
now if you're comparing him to Ben Wallace, if you're comparing him,
and that's what he was doing.
Right. I don't think Rudy was as I don't think Rudy was as good a defender as Ben Wallace. I won't argue that. I think Ben Wallace was a better defender than him overall. I think Dwight Howard was a better defender than him overall. I think Mutombo's got 3 defensive players of the year. I don't know if Mutombo better than Rudy as a defender. I'm not sure.
As a team defender, I think he's better.
I'm not. I will not subscribe to that.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I'm subscribing to Dwight Howard. I'm not sure I'm subscribing to Mutombo as a team defender. As good as a rim protector as he is, I mean, Rudy Gobert was a damn good rim protector. There's a reason why they call him.
I'm sorry.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. What?
That's the same thing that Mutombo was. Rudy is a rim protector as well as Mutombo. They're both not like perimeter defenders.
Correct.
So for them, they both get tunneled. Everybody with both of them, they both get forced to go. I mean, tunneled in. You know what I'm saying? The perimeters are going to force you into the paint because you're not going to lay up the ball.
Sure.
So both of them. And who's better out of them two would be Mutombo, right?
Clear? Are we clear what a rim protector is exactly? Are we clear on that part?
Yeah.
What is a rim protector in your estimation?
Someone to stop them from scoring in the paint, blocking shots, forcing them to throw the ball back out for like a 3-pointer or a mid-range shot. You know, pretty much overall protecting anything that comes inside towards them.
Yes. And in this era, you think Mutombo was better than Rudy at protecting the paint?
If Mutombo was playing in this era, would he be better? Yes.
No way.
I think so.
No way. He's not a better athlete than. I don't think he's a better athlete than Rudy. I don't think he's a better rebounder. I don't think he's a better rebounder than Rudy. Not only do I not think he's a better rebounder than Rudy, I don't think he's as fleet of foot as Rudy, which would also be the same as an athlete. I think he covers more ground than Mutombo. Not only does he cover more ground, I think he's a better rim protector overall. So when I think about Mutombo as a rim protector and a paint presence, Mutombo basically stood around the rim. Rudy doesn't do that. Rudy not just mans the paint, but Rudy mans the mid post. Rudy also steps out. Rudy also he can't. I'm sorry. Say that again.
You're comparing errors because Mutombo had to stay in the paint because in that era everything was forced inside towards the mid range. Nowadays, Rudy has the opportunity to move around more. You know what I'm saying? He also had the opportunity. He also has the opportunity to not even have illegal defenses called on him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's different from back then to currently now. So you can't really compare the two. Just because Mutombo couldn't do it or wasn't allowed to do it back then doesn't mean he cannot operate in the same form that Rudy is now.
Well, two things. Number one, Rudy doesn't have to worry about getting called illegal defense on him. 100% he does. We got the illegal 3 seconds, which actually makes it worse because now I have to make sure that I am where I am and where I'm supposed to be. Mutombo, as a big man, okay, sure that you're playing on the block against other big guys. Those big guys aren't stepping out to the paint as much. Like Ewing stepped out, Mourning stepped out. Shaq didn't step out nearly as much. But, I mean, as much trouble as the bigs give Rudy today, I mean, Mutombo had his problems with Ewing. Mutombo had his problems with Olajuwon, right? Mutombo had his problems with Alonzo Mourning. David Robinson gave him hell. So and that's just big guys. That's not including him having to man the paint. That's not including him having to guard the rim. That's not including that stuff with Grant Hill and guys dunking on him. I mean, Rudy chases guys out of the paint on the regular. That's going on the regular. That Rudy is doing that.
Okay, we can say the same for Rudy, though. So everything you're saying, I can say the same for Rudy, which is the reason why I'm not saying that Rudy is not a great defender. I agree that he was a great defender, but comparing him to the other ones that have 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards is the reason why.
Who else has it? Who else? I know Howard has it. I know.
No, Howard has 3, right?
Howard got 3 in a row. He should have had 4. He's got 3.
But so
Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace is the only one.
And I guess that's the reason why he was saying it, because he was comparing to him, I guess.
And
I can't think of anybody else who has 4. Yeah.
Nobody else has 4. Ben Wallace got 4. Rudy got 3.
And I think
Dwight Howard has 3. Mutombo has 3.
Dwight might be jealous too. I won't deny that.
Oh, 100% he is.
Also, I wanted to say, when you brought up Smart about the whole Defensive Player of the Year award, you know who's supposed to win that year, right?
To be honest with you, I didn't think he was better than Mikal Bridges.
But Draymond was supposed to win it, but he got hurt. So originally, Draymond was leading by miles. So
I thought Mikal Bridges was better than him that year. To be honest,
Draymond?
No, than Marcus Smart. Yes, I thought Mikal Bridges was better than him that year. Yes, I did.
I agree. Also, you was crazy saying that Steph was going to get traded. It's too much money to be made. He's never going to get traded.
We'll see. We've seen crazier things happen, brother. We'll see. The only reason why Kobe wasn't traded, because I can't trade Shaq and Kobe. I will never get another job in the NBA.
You can't let Clay leave and then trade Steph. He won't get another job, but he won't get another job ever again either.
But the difference,
the same exact thing.
No, it's not. No, it's
not. Kobe
not.
is to the Lakers, is Steph to the Warriors.
Thing. But the difference, what you're arguing is you're arguing those other guys who in their prime. So we've already seen the Golden State Warriors, 6 championships in 8 years. These guys are aging. These guys are old. Clay is a shell of what he used to be, especially in that Golden State Warrior offense. Steph Curry is going to be 37. You see what Draymond is. Draymond is steadily on the decline. They've already put Wiggins on the trade block. So with them doing that, I mean, the demolition has already started. Do I really want to see Steph Curry on a 21 and 57 Golden State team? I don't want to see that.
We didn't want to see Kobe the same way, but we did. Right. This is what I'm saying. Kobe is the upper echelon of the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry is the same. I'm from Oakland, California, so I see everyone knows Steph Curry is the same level as Kobe would be for the Lakers. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
You can't trade him. You can't trade him.
Stranger, especially with Mike Dunleavy, stranger things have happened, brother.
Mike Dunleavy would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
All right, Aaron.
All right.
I would not be surprised to turn on the TV Ox and find out that we got a 4-team trade and Steph Curry's going to Minnesota and this dude's going here and that dude's. I would not be surprised to see that.
I would be surprised now because of this extension. Like pre-extension, I was expecting that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I was for sure expecting that. To a team like that, Orlando, Minnesota, one of those type teams, a up and coming team with some youngsters that are ready to win. Yeah. I was expecting to see something like that. Now I'm not so sure, but we'll see. You never know. Yeah. You just never know. Chill. Before I get to the next person in the lobby, I want to ask you about something. What was it like back in the day, turning on the TV, watching Georgetown play with Alonzo Mourning and Dikembe Mutombo at the same time?
I mean, college basketball, way bigger deal back then than it is today. And the Big East the Big East was king. If you was from the Northeast, that's what it was. The Big East in the Northeast is what the Pac-12 was, or the Pac-10 is out west. Right. So whenever UCLA and Arizona was on, or Arizona and Arizona State, Georgetown and Syracuse. That was the game of the week. Georgetown and Syracuse, St. John's and Seton Hall. That was it. So to see Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning on the front line, the idea was they were going to win the national championship because they had 2 of the best big men in the country. So their guard play wasn't very good, but they had 2 of the best big men in the country. So the idea was, this team is going to win the national championship because can't nobody really match them. But they didn't really have any. I don't think that they had the guard play that was necessary in order for them to win. Plus, Mutombo still was raw, but he was. Yeah. I mean, in terms of being a defender, I mean, he was fantastic.
Right,
they were great.
Right, man. I just can't. I can't imagine, being like one of the top. Let's call it. I mean, it's got to be a lot. We're talking high school and college. One of the top 10 to 20 point guards in the country. And you know what I'm saying, coach coming like, I got Dikembe, I got Zoe. And me being like, I'm cool. I'll go play at Illinois or like, I'm going there.
I'm going to Georgetown.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to, if I'm one of those guys coming through, I can get buckets, but I'm a distributor. I'm throwing lobs to the bigs and just give me somebody over there that can shoot it, coach, and we good. Like, let's go win this thing,
Yeah.
It would be hard. I would be crazy to turn that down, but I don't know. I'm not sure how he was recruiting at all. But I mean, Georgetown with the bigs, though. I'm saying like Patrick Ewing, Dikembe, Zoe, all these dudes.
Yeah,
man, it was crazy, Georgetown. All right, but I was just curious about that because I heard the Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe talk. I'm just like, man, them dudes played together in college. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me see who we got. Okay, we got Brax the Bandit coming up. What up, Brax? I think you on mute, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, there we go. What's good? First of all, hey man, the Warriors downfall. You know I'm always here for that. I'm still mad about 2016. I ain't even gonna hold you. So
Is this the Warriors' downfall?
Yes, this is the Warriors' downfall. First of all, hey, I feel like they've been doing a terrible job managing. And as a person who's never had to deal with bad management, I can reassure you, bad management is the first way to downfall any team, whatever. The way they handled the Clay situation alone is just like, okay, you can see it coming from a mile away, in my opinion. But yeah, man, I feel like, and also Curry's not going to be able to get traded until like 2 seasons from now, and I don't know if anybody is going to want to trade for that contract 2 seasons from now. Once again, like Chill said, I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen a 72-year-old Chris Paul get traded. So
with a radioactive contract, by the way.
Exactly. Hey,
that contract wasn't bad. That contract was a bucket, like the industrial size garbage cans filled with dead fish. That's what it was. And
with the biohazard sign on it, like it was a huge contract. I'm like, there's no way he getting moved, and he got. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I just don't see it. $60 million in 1 year is crazy.
If that happened, it would have to be like now, so that they can try to win in this next year or so.
Exactly, but he can't get traded next year, so because he just signed the extension. So it's just like, you feel me? I think he's gonna be there for life on them garbage teams. Hey, I love it. I'm not really tripping. I don't think. Me personally, I don't even think they'll make it out the play-in again this year. Or anytime soon. So that's just my opinion, though.
No doubt.
But as for the Dwight and Gobert situation, I mean, I just don't. Yeah, I don't. It's kind of like this thing with Tatum. Like, as much as people shit on Tatum, Chill, I've already told you this. You might think I hate Tatum. I really don't. But people have been bashing him so much lately. It's like, all right, now I got to defend him. Because the hate he's getting is ridiculous. I don't see why Gobert is getting as much hate as he is as a defender when, I mean, some of the stuff that he's doing, Dwight would have got cooked for too. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, I said it in chat, the 2009 finals, when you had to play drop against Kobe Bryant and got fried. Like, hey, Gobert, I mean, he's not. I don't think he'll get fried playing drop coverage, but he, in my opinion, am I crazy to say he's a better drop coverage defender than Dwight?
Yep.
You think Dwight's a better drop coverage defender?
No, I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he is either.
No,
like, I don't. Right. Me personally, I just think it's kind of hypocritical to say somebody's not elite when they do some things better than you did. On top of like the paint protection that you provided and stuff like that. So to say,
yeah, I think Dwight's a better defender than Rudy, but I still don't think that gives Dwight the ability to speak ill about Rudy this way. When I just think it's disingenuous a little bit, and
extremely disingenuous.
And that's the thing too, and we're gonna get into that too in a minute. Like I'm gonna talk to you, Chill, about the comments made by Steven Jackson. I think it's just a basketball player thing. I think these guys just sometimes let their ego get ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? And they say things. It's just kind of like, oh, you didn't have to say that, bro. But,
right. And that's facts. And somebody said it earlier. I think it's just a jealousy thing. Like, I mean, he's probably mad he has more DPOYs than him, which I get. I understand.
That make it worse. Like that make it even worse. And don't get me wrong. Like, we people at the end of the day. And if we being honest, I told you this 1,000 times, man. These dudes care about these awards. That's why when I hear these dudes, that's why when I hear these dudes telling me, yo, Chill, yo, OG, take accolades off the table. No, I'm not going to take accolades off the table. No,
it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Because I get the players. I understand that the players, they care about them for sure. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm just speaking like if I was in the predicament, I just wouldn't care. Because I think it was Mars that said it. Like, I'm not taking into consideration awards that are media based, and the media is like overly flawed. Like and everybody has different opinions, everybody has different criteria, everybody has different this. As long as I'm being the best player that I can be, and I'm being the best basketball player I could be, I could really care. Me personally, I couldn't care about an award, but I understand why others don't care.
That's Brax. Come on,
I know it's
Brax.
Come on, Brax.
If we in the league, and you know for a fact in your heart you better than me. And every year you coming in second and third to me in league MVP votes. You come in second and third to me in defensive player of the year. Quietly or amongst your boys, you're gonna be like, yo, this is some bullshit.
But that's the thing. That's the thing though. Like, Brax, I don't mean
you might not do it on TV.
I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, Brax. Believe you, I don't, because it's the same way. You're a civilian. We're civilians.
No,
right?
we're civilians for sure.
We're civilians. So you can't really we can't, bro. It's just not like that. When you're a professional athlete, you're in the gym every day, Brax.
Listen, I get it. I understand.
And the thing about it is, a lot of people hear Mars say that, and that's just Mars talking, because Mars doesn't care about anything. So it's easy for him to be like, oh yeah, well, I just wouldn't care.
Not to say I don't care, but look, this is what I'm saying. Look, to get into the NBA, I understand. To get in the NBA, you have to have a crazy ego. Like, you have to believe you're the best player in the world, such and such, and stuff like that. Like, I get it. You have to be, you damn near have to be narcissistic to get into the NBA. But what I'm saying
you have to be that.
You have to be narcissistic. Like, but I'm saying for me personally, like, I think, Chill, we had this conversation last time when I was talking about Tatum getting benched for Curry. Whatever I believe, I don't care what anybody else is talking about. Like, that's just me. I know most people are like that, but like you said, to your example, if I know I'm better than you, if I feel like I know I'm 100% better than you, but I keep getting second place, but I don't care. I know I'm better than you. That's just, I'm telling you, that's just
Brax,
me. That's just how I think.
Brax, you do know that I almost got in a fist fight because one guy won the league MVP over another.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I almost got in a fist fight over that, and I had to calm him down. Right?
Yeah, I get that.
This isn't a good player. This isn't a great player.
What is the best player?
Right. I almost got in a fist fight with him because he didn't win the league MVP. And I thought that it should have went to that other guy because of this. Not because he's better than you, but because of this. I almost got in a fist fight with this dude. You sitting here telling me that 3 years, 4 years, I'm coming in, you coming in second to me, you coming in third, and I'm coming in second. And you know for a fact you better than me. You know what? I don't care about you.
But Chill, that's what I'm saying. On the other side of the coin,
eventually you're gonna be like, yo, this is some bullshit.
No, Chill, think about it. On the other side of the coin, that's what I'm saying. On the other side of the coin, when you realize we all know MVP does not mean the best player. A majority of the time, it's just who has the best narrative behind him. AI had a crazy narrative behind him in 01, right? Am I right or wrong?
Not really, but he did.
That
matters. Narratives matter.
Yeah,
yes,
narratives matter. So
yes,
once we get to like accolades and stuff like that, and then narratives start taking in. Once narratives are in the agenda, it takes away from the actual essence of basketball. Like, and I know people say, you would get bored of the MVP if it just went to the best player every year. But
no, I wouldn't. No, I would not.
Me personally, I wouldn't. But
no, I would not.
But
at least I know it's going to the best player.
At least I know it's going to the best player. Exactly.
And on top of that, I know for a fact that we got a criteria. Okay, the league MVP is the best player in the league. That's
exactly.
What I know
so that I think once you start adding narratives, it's like, oh well, last season they were 42-40, and then now they went up 17 wins. What does that have to do with him being like? What was the actual jump as a player that he took from last year to this year that made him a better player? That's my point. If I'm doing that and I'm just a better player than I was, while I jumped to being the best player in the league, I don't really care what anybody else is talking about because I am the best player in the league. I just don't have the best narrative behind me. Right. That's just my whole point.
That's fair, Brax. But we've had this conversation a few times. Don't want to beat the dead horse, brother. We got to keep it moving. As always, we appreciate you pulling up, and we appreciate your insight, fam. No doubt.
For sure. Peace.
All right. Yeah, Chill. I don't care what anybody says. Like if I know, Chill, if I know I'm better than you, and we've been in the league together for 5-6 years, and you got 3 MVPs and I got 0, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed because I'm like, now it's two. I think we kind of mix conversations there too, where it's like I don't feel like we should necessarily rank when we do our rankings. I don't really want MVP and DPOY to be the end all be all of that conversation because it's a voted on, and we've had conversations about acknowledging that it's a narrative based and it's bias based at times. So for those reasons, I don't want it to get into that conversation to be the end all be all of a ranking, but that's etched in stone. That's forever. You were the MVP in 2004. You were the MVP in 2007. That's irrefutable. It's going to be there forever.
So 50 years from now, when I ain't around no more,
right?
And there's going to be in 2004, Ox was the defensive player of the year.
Right.
That's there.
I need that. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Chill,
and
like,
you might not,
and
you might not, and Ox, you might not outwardly say that. You might not get in front of the camera and go, man, chill, blah, blah, blah. But quietly, yo, I'm a better defender than him. I should be, that's my award right there. Yeah. That's my award.
See, and that's the thing. So in Brax, and sometimes Braxton's other people, they come from a humble place. They got a humble heart. I'm not. When it comes to this basketball thing, I've never been. I'm gonna let everybody know. No. He can't get with me. I'm better than him. He didn't deserve. That should have been mine. You know, I'm gonna tell the truth, and I'll say it in front of anybody. But we got a couple more guys in the lobby before we get on to this next point. I really want to talk to you about this Jimmy Butler thing, Chill. Did you see that they're saying that in the 2025 free agency, obviously they're saying the main guy will be LeBron, but behind that is Jimmy Butler, and the Brooklyn Nets are front runners to grab Jimmy Butler.
A 36-year-old Jimmy Butler. That's what we're talking about. Jimmy Butler is at the top of the free agent market at 36 years old. Because that's what he's going to be on opening night next year. 36 years old. Give me a break. You already know how I feel about buckets anyway. I'm
right.
You already know where I'm at with him. I don't think that he's whack. I still think that he's a damn good player. I don't know if there's 15 players. I'm not sure if there's 15 players. I mean, I already had my list, but I'm not. Jimmy Butler is arguably a top 15 player in the game today. Definitely top 20. 100% he's top 20. And with that being said, when you start to get older and your game ages, and Jimmy Butler's game is a game that's going to age well, but to say that he's the best free agent, depending on, how you move in your team. If you as a Brooklyn, if you're in the Brooklyn Nets front office and Jimmy Butler is at the top of your free agent list next summer, as bad as you guys are going to be, if Jimmy Butler is at the top of your free agent signings, that GM needs to be fired 100%, because we're not building our unit around a 36-year-old who is on the other side of who he used to be, where I might get 2 more years out of him. Maybe. Ain't no way. If you are building your unit around Jimmy Butler, he's at the top of your free agent list next season. Now, if you're a team that is at the doorstep and maybe Jimmy Butler can help you and you can afford him, then that's different. But I can tell you right now, he's not going to come cheap. That's why Rouse hasn't paid him. And the reason why Rouse hasn't paid him, because he can't imagine paying Jimmy Butler $55 million at age 37 years old. He can't see it. No, and to be honest with you, I don't blame him.
Well, I mean, paying Jimmy 30, what did you say, 57?
$57 million. Because that was the extension that he wanted. He was looking at a $115 million extension, something like that, which means that his deal would be up. He'd be 37 years old. And Rouse can't see paying him no $56 million.
Well, if I'm Brooklyn, right, I'm in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. I might need a guy like Jimmy to come and set a standard for the culture we're trying to build around here. Set a standard for these young guys and let them know what it takes and what you're going to need to be successful in the NBA. I would try to talk Jimmy down to 40, 42. You know what I'm saying? If I could talk
a little bit.
Yeah, if I can talk him down a little bit, I could sign him to a 1-2 year contract. No problem. I mean, they about to pay Steph Curry almost $70 million. And when he's 40, I could pay Jimmy 40, 45 when he's 36, 37.
The difference with that, Ox, is didn't we see that movie before with Jimmy around some young guys and he almost ruined them? with both Cat and Andrew Wiggins. We saw that already, right? So
Right.
I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna pass on buckets coming and getting around my kids. I think I'm
Right.
good.
Well, I'm about to ask the biggest Nets fan in the country. How do they feel about this? Yo, Breezy, what's your take on this?
Oh, it's all pepperoni and cheese, pepperoni salad. We got a whole young situation. We gonna run with that. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I took my lunch at 12, and y'all came on at 1. I can't even stay long. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be back with more content later. Two things. I was looking at the list of the highest paid players from the beginning. At one time in 1946-47, $8,000 was the highest paid player in basketball. Wilt Chamberlain is on this list a bunch of times, and he led the league in how much you get paid 8 times. And I'm gonna just leave off saying this because I'm busy. I'm asking Chill this. Do you think that the salary cap in 84-85 made the league more competitive, with that being the purpose of it?
Yes, because now got like teams like Boston, right? Teams like the Knicks, like they can't just gobble up the market and get all the best players and pay them whatever they want. So now you can actually compete if you the Trailblazers, right? If you are Cleveland, you can actually compete, as opposed to back then. I mean, before the salary cap, we could pay whoever we want, whatever we want. Before the bird rights showed up, I mean, I think that was a great thing. I do.
Yeah. All right, Breezy. I think he's busy. It's all good. Yeah, okay. Let's pull up Sturdy. What's up, Sturdy?
What up?
Yo, what's good, brothers? How y'all Saturday going, man?
Great.
Running good,
great.
Joe. Running good.
All right, we gonna get straight to the point, all right? First off, I'm not gonna lie. Before the extension, I thought Curry was getting out a chance. He gonna ask for a trade this season. That man said his things. I want to compete. I want to still compete for championships. And we saw even with this last year, him going to it's like dip. He still was an elite player. So despite that, with this extension, that, to be honest with you, at this point, it's 50-50 whether or not he'll retire with the Warriors. Might be 60-40, because at the end of the day, we not only know they're nowhere near competing now, but based off this situation and their cap, especially with their cap, they're not going to. And we've seen other young assets that could fit their team get extensions themselves in their own franchises. The chance of them competing within this year and last year is slim to none, or making acquisitions to do so is slim to none. So to me, I think either this year will be the last year we see of Steph Curry, because he could ask for a trade during the offseason, or he gonna retire a Warrior, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing.
So I'm just reminding the fans that, one, the word loyalty isn't real, especially in the business of basketball. Loyalty is only a word that favors the ownership. So when people are getting pushback to the possibility of Steph Curry getting traded or leaving the Warriors because that word loyalty. If loyalty existed, right, why don't Steph Curry have a no trade clause? If loyalty truly existed, why did only been 10 players in NBA history to have a no trade clause?
It's only one guy in the league now. It's only one in the league right now.
One guy.
That's Bradley Beal. That's it. Bradley Beal, the only one in the league right now that got a no trade clause. He's the only one.
And Chill, you telling me in nearly the 80-year history of the NBA, there's only been 10 franchise caliber players? No. So that's the main reason why loyalty don't exist. Because if it did, guys like Joker, Tatum, Luka, even Ant, cornerstone franchise guys will, when they get a super extension or super max extension, they'll also include a no trade clause if loyalty existed. But nevertheless,
I would never give any player a no trade clause. I don't care. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan, LeBron James. If I'm ownership, a no trade clause is something that's never on the table for anybody.
Nope.
Why is that, Ox? Why is that?
It's just bad. It's bad business.
See what? Look what's going on with Phoenix. They can't move off Bradley Beal if they wanted to. They probably have some great trade options if that wasn't the case. But the fact that he's got a no trade clause in his contract, he has all the leverage. He is the final say so. He's the one who says yes or no. It's him. If it's not him, then it's nobody. And we're not going anywhere. And you're not going to eat his deal because I think he's got 3 more years left on his deal. So you're not going to eat the money.
No way you're eating that.
No way. You're not going to eat the money.
No. And my thing, Sturdy, as an owner, like I feel like as an owner, I'm keeping as much control of this as possible. Obviously, I don't want to turn into a dictator. I don't want to be, a jerk, a bad owner. But I'm never letting the patients take over the asylum. Never.
Even if that quote unquote inmate proven to be low maintenance, not to be problematic in way, shape, or form. Like to me, Ox, there's a crime that like a guy like Tim Duncan never had a trade clause. Who took pay cuts.
With guys like that, you don't need
he took a pay cut. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, why not give it to him if we know he's not going nowhere? This dude is taking less money to save me money. Not he's to save me money as an owner.
Now, Sturdy, him taking that less money, nobody twisted his arm. His contract was up. He didn't have to sign that deal. He could have said, you know what, this just doesn't work for me, and I'm walking out the front door. He could have very well done that, only except he didn't. He was a team guy. He was loyal to the San Antonio Spurs, and he was the one who decided, I will take less money because my legacy is going to be about winning. Now, as far as the no trade clause, can we come to a median where I'm going to do right by you when the time comes and it's time to move on from you? I'm going to do right by you. Like, I don't think Golden State is sending Steph Curry to the Trailblazers. No, they're not doing that. They're not sending him to, right? They're not sending him to Detroit. They're not going to do that to him. However, this doesn't have to just work for you. This is a business, and this has to work for me too. So when I recognize that you're on the decline and you're clearly not what you used to be, Bradley Beal is a prime example of that. That back injury is going to expedite his demise. So when it's time to really move off of him, and I don't know, let's say that the Minnesota Timberwolves call and they got some young pups that they want to hand over to me for Bradley Beal, I can't move on these guys. Why? Because Bradley Beal's like, no, I'm not moving to Minnesota. No.
And with that being said, too, Sturdy, like I said, it's bad business. But I don't intend on doing bad business either. But one thing I do know is if I get an offer and it's a better offer than the player that's been around for a while, the bottom line is that this is business and I'm not going to be sentimental about it. Like I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be sentimental about it. If I got Steph Curry and we got 4 championships, but I see that this is going the opposite way, and I can send you somewhere where it's not, Timbuktu. I'm not sending you to Nova Scotia. You know what I mean? Well, you got to go. And if you have a no trade clause and you just like, well, no, but you're not going to hold me hostage, not on my team, like never. So that's just how I feel about it. But I got you.
That's what's up. Speaking of,
we shipping Steph Curry to Utah. Come on, man, we ain't doing that. Nah, hell no. Nah, man. No.
But speaking of inconsistency, right? I'm trying to find the inconsistency when it comes to Rudy Gobert's reputation, right? Because even that dialogue with Dwight, he said the main reason why he believed that he got those other 3 DPOYs on the Utah Jazz was primarily due to his impact from his other teammates. And I mean, I said that wrong. Primarily due to the fact that how great of a team defender he was, due to the fact that his teammates he didn't have the best defensive personnel. And he did acknowledge that same conversation that he do believe that Rudy played his best version of defense this year because he alluded to the fact that he was more mobile, he came up with pick and rolls, and so on and so on. My only got 2 questions for you guys, right? Why is there a clear bias towards the reputation of Rudy and not a fair one? Like, you see all these comments being highlighted of former DPOYs, teammates, or even opponents of his saying, oh, he's not that good of a defender. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, you don't get the other side. You don't get the Joakim Noah saying, oh, he was deserving of a DPOY this year. You don't get people try to erase the old clip of KG saying, oh, I can see Rudy Gobert getting DPOY this year due to how impactful he is on the baseline and being a communicator. My question to you guys, why is it so one-sided when it comes to Rudy Gobert?
Well, one of the main reasons is because of the perception of Rudy Gobert. He's soft. Draymond kind of channels that engine. I mean, Draymond is the driver of that, because what Draymond had done to him. So, and on top of that, what happened with Terrence Mann in the playoffs, and they're completely leaving out how good he is as a defender. But I think that the narrative on him is that he's soft. So if you soft, you can't be the best defensive player in the league. If you soft, you can't be the defensive player of the year if you're soft, which in reality, I don't think Rudy is soft. Again, Sturdy, I said this to Ox earlier, and I'll say it again. I apologize that I got trouble with Joker. I apologize that I'm having a hard time with Joel Embiid on a nightly basis. I apologize if I can't slow down Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But I can tell you right now, Ewing ain't apologizing for not being able to slow down Olajuwon. And David Robinson is not apologizing for not being able to slow down Olajuwon. Jabbar is not apologizing that he got his ass kicked by Moses. It happens. But it happens less than it happens more. I can tell you that right now. These teams that Rudy is on, they benefit way more having him on the floor than when he's not on the floor. And they will tell you that way more. So the idea of him being soft, I'm sick of guys like Draymond Green. That boils my blood, because what you're doing is you're discounting an all-time great defender when you should be bigging him up. You should.
Mm-hmm. I think it's real simple, Chill. I think it's even more simple than that. A lot of people don't know what they're looking at.
That was exactly a lot of people just don't know what next question, bro.
A lot of people just don't know what they're watching, and that's okay.
And do you think because of this, because of Rudy's negative reputation, you think that is an indicator of the mainstream media not doing a good job of educating the casuals on defense?
They don't know what they're looking at either sometimes, Sturdy.
No. Follow me for a second, because I know you and Chill are not just basketball experts, but you guys also follow other sports too. You guys are also aware of how other sports are being talked about as well. Mm-hmm. Chill, when we evaluate how good a football player is, what do? We typically start with the scheme, what he's asked to do, and how consistent and impactful he is in that role. But for some reason, when it comes to basketball, it's a complete opposite in reverse. It's completely turned to a perspective of individual and one-on-ones, right? And I think that's the biggest disparity between basketball discourse and other sports. It's the education on the nuance of the game. When I tell a person, when I try to explain to a person why Rudy's a great defender, due to communication, due to altering shots, due to helping the helper and making sure guys are held accountable. Those are nuanced conversations where it's not tracked numerically, and it's hard to recognize on film. So,
when in reality, to compound your point, in football, there's very much one-on-one. As a wide receiver, I got to win my one-on-one matchup. Sure, the quarterback's got to get me the football, just like the lead guard's got to get me the basketball. But I got to win my one-on-one matchup. When I'm playing, when I'm a tight end and I'm switched on to a linebacker, I got to win my one-on-one matchup with this linebacker. When I'm a linebacker and I'm in the 4-3 and they're coming downhill and I'm one-on-one with Derrick Henry, I got to make that tackle. I have to do that. So as much as football is a team sport, you still have to do your job. And if you don't do your job, you're going to be exposed. But we don't compound that. And the reason why we don't is because football is the ultimate sport. We all need each other. Well, guess what? I need Ox at the rim, because this guard that's in front of me, he fast as hell, and I'm doing our best to stay in front of him. I'm doing my best to stay in front of him. And the fact that Ox is back there, when he gets by me, he's smacking that into the third row, he's a little bit more resistant in going in there. And maybe I can stay in front of him a little bit more. So as much as you need your front four to block as a running back, I need Ox back there helping me out.
Mm-hmm. And that's the common thing. And Chill, it's like that in baseball, it's like that in football, it's definitely like that in basketball. Defense operate on the string. It's helping the helper. And so, most importantly, you're only going what the coach and the team ask you to do first, and then you playing they like to call it you playing chain reaction basketball at that point. Using instincts and using what you learned from film to add in to the defensive scheme. And I think that education is a huge piece missing from basketball discourse, and it needs to change.
Yeah,
but nevertheless, it was always a pleasure talking to you, brothers. Y'all like, subscribe, and hit this comment button. Share this with your mama. Share this with your dad. Call them too, and most importantly,
make sure you
comment, bro. Leave your opinions too, bro. It's free. I appreciate y'all, bro. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Sturdy. Appreciate you. Yeah. So, dude, I want to ask you something real quick because we are starting to wind down, and I want to make sure I don't miss this.
Mm-hmm.
Should the league fine Tyrese Haliburton for tampering?
I need to hold a check, Ox. I need to hold some dough. If we being honest, yes. What exactly is tampering? I am currently under contract with the Indiana Pacers. While I'm currently under contract with the Indiana Pacers, Anthony Davis is currently under contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Edwards is currently under contract with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I cannot suggest on any level that he should come play with me. That's tampering right there. You can't do that. Only except that's what's going on. In fact, he said that. And it wasn't one guy specifically, Ox. He said every last one of them dudes he campaigned. He said every last one of them dudes on the roster, he was basically in their ear. Yo, if you don't like what's going on where you at, hey, in Indiana, we can help it. We could definitely do something for you. Yo, if you don't like what's going on in Boston, Jason, yo, you could come to Indiana. Hey, AD, you don't like how James is getting you the pill? I don't know if you know this, but I'm one of the better distributors in the game. I'll make sure that you get the pill running with me. I will make sure that, right? Hey, Joe, I don't know what's going on in Philly, but I can tell you right now, big fella, we'll run the offense right through you if you came to Indiana. That right there is not just me telling you.
That's the one right there, Chill. That's who he needs to be campaigning for is Joel Embiid. That's where
big fella. Come on to Indiana, big fella.
I'm talking about the whole time they were in France. He should have just been a flaw. I'm talking about annoying Joel. Like, yo, Joel, you hungry? You want to go? Come on, let's go. You know, I got yo, big fella. I got that. Don't worry about it. You know, yo, Joel, you want to sit?
Everything.
I got to come here, hang out. You know, oh man.
Everything.
Oh, I would have been. That's who he should have been really, really recruiting, Chill. But this is the thing. So look, Chill. I don't have a problem with it. Honestly, I don't. But why would you come out and say that, though?
Yes,
yeah. It's crazy.
Right. We first of all, okay, my grandmother told me this when I was a kid, Ox. She said, if you're gonna do something wrong, do it right. So with that being said, we all know that. We all know that this is against the rules. I ain't saying not to do it. What I am saying though is if you are gonna do this, you might want to do this another way. You don't want to tell everybody that, yo, I'm in Joel Embiid ear. Yo, I'm in Anthony. I was on the Olympic team, and I was in every last one of these guys' ear, and I was telling them, hey, Indiana is a great place. You should come check it out. We would love to have you. First of all, we already under contract. I already have a job. Thank you, though, but I already have a job. And it's not anything new, Ox. These dudes do this all the time, right? That's how these guys end up getting together. That's exactly how these guys end up getting together. How you think that happened in Phoenix with KD and Book? They probably was playing pickup. Like, you know what? We should play together. We should get on the crew together. Matter of fact, I think we're going to do that. Same thing with Wade and James playing in the Olympics. Yo, you know what? I think I'm going to come get with you. I really like what y'all doing down there in Miami. I think that we can help each other. This happens all the time. The difference, though, is, Ox, I ain't going to say nothing to your face about it. I'm not going to put it out there. I'm not going to tell everybody. Yes, Ox, I'm campaigning for Anthony Davis to come to Indiana. I'm campaigning for Jason Tatum and his man, Drew Holiday. Get them dudes to Indiana. I'm campaigning for them dudes to come to Indiana. What?
Chill. If I'm the GM or the owner, I would have been trying to call Tyrese so fast. I would have dropped my phone. Oh, wait a second. What? Tyrese, are you crazy? Like, what do you? Oh, I would have been pissed. Like, yo, why would you? Don't even play like that. You know what I'm saying? We can lose draft picks. Just imagine that Joel Embiid ends up in Indiana or something next year.
Guess what happens now? Remember those indictment papers that we talked about, Ox? Remember the FBI, the whole NBA, they all have now congregated to Indiana. Hey, big fella, how'd you end up here? What's going on? Did you just decide that you want to play at Indiana? What was the selling point for you to come to Indiana? Now I got to put now I got to put Haliburton in a room under the interrogation light. Yeah. I mean, how did you have anything to do with this? And don't lie, because we're gonna find out. Don't lie to me, because we're gonna find out. Give me a break, man.
If Bam makes his way to Indianapolis, it's like, nope, nah, something's up. And just like Braxton said in the comment section, if anything, by coming out and saying that, that might make people more reluctant. Like, nah, Tyrese, I can't come now, bro. Like,
Ox, how am I get in your gang, Ox? If you done put it out there, what y'all doing? I can't get on your crew now because now it's on blast. And now you got everybody watching you. You got the feds watching you. You got the DEA watching you. You got everybody now watching you. If you would have kept that quiet, okay, now we might be able to do something. Because again, this happens all the time. These dudes do this behind the scenes. That's how they end up together. That's how James and Wade ended up together. That's how Book and Kevin Durant ended up together. These dudes do this all the time. The difference is they don't say nothing about it. They don't tell nobody about it. What are you doing?
Just no finesse, Tyrese. No finesse. No finesse at all. He's the type to cheat on the test and write the answers on his hand and be like this. You know, like, oh, you're getting caught. Like,
I'm cheating on the test, and I'm gonna write your name because you wrote your name on your test. So I'm gonna write your name on my test too.
This the imbecile. Oh man, I'm not on a serious note though, Chill. This could have really crippled recruiting efforts for the general manager for the short future 100%. For the next 2 to 3 100%. Seasons. Like seriously,
100%.
Like
yes, 100%. Yes.
Oh man.
Yes. You already got your guy in Siakam. They got you. They signed you to an extension. You still got Nembhard. You got Naismith, right? You got Obi Toppin. But if you wanted to quite possibly get one of them dudes from the Olympic team, if you wanted to possibly nudge one of them dudes and get them over to Indiana, now that you've come out and said that, yeah, no, I'm good. No, I can't do that. And the reason why I can't do that is because there's going to be a microscope on me, not just on this team, but on me if I came there. And I mean, I saw how it wrecked Minnesota. I saw how it wrecked Minnesota with the Joe Smith thing when they lost draft picks. In a place like Indiana, a place like Minnesota, we need our draft picks. We need them. We can't lose 3 first-rounders for the next 3 years, especially considering what the draft is about to look like. Hell no, we can't do that. No.
Right. That's crazy, Tyrese. Got to be slicker than that, young fella. Golly.
Have to be, brother. Come on, my
man. So we got a super chat from Braxton Bandy. He said, forgot to mention, I'm going to the Mercury versus Aces game tomorrow. Shout out to the Aces and the Mercury. Ox, I'm about to claim my woman from the shackles of Bamonte.
Good luck with that.
That's fire. Go ahead. Do that for us. Do that for us, Brax. Do that for us.
Good luck with that.
It's facts. Good luck. Man, better leave Bam alone.
I got her. She right here.
Right. Go ahead, boy.
I might sniff you around my girl. Hey man, back up. Stay away from my woman, yo. Man. You stay away from my girl.
For real. I'm proud of you, Bam. I'm proud of you. For the last guest of the day, we got Tim Duncan in top 5. What's up, fam?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing this afternoon?
Yo, what up?
All right.
We chilling, man. Chill. I was thinking about that. Hurting, your team with, the draft picks being lost and different things of that nature. So in your opinion, who do you think right now has to look forward to the draft more for the next couple of years in order to get their franchise more stable for the foreseeable future?
Brooklyn, more than anybody, Brooklyn, because we already been down that road of bagging 2 big time free agents and both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and it was a disaster. So we were able to get back our draft picks from James Harden. We were able to get back some of our draft picks from James Harden. We can't lose those draft picks again because we will be in utter obscurity. Ben Simmons is going to come off the books. We're going to be bad. We 100% need our draft picks because we've been down that road of already seeing what bagging big-time free agents comes with and ultimately it turning into nothing. So we have to build this thing from the bottom up, and we need all of our draft picks. In Brooklyn in particular, even more than in Portland, more than in New Orleans, more because the media scrutiny in New York, considering what they had already done, 100% I think it's Brooklyn.
Okay. Well, that's all I really had for you, fellas, because I've been listening. Yeah, I've been listening. I was listening to the conversation. I just thought that was a very interesting topic to look at because, you got several teams right now where for the next couple of years, given that we don't really think these teams will be successful, whether it be Brooklyn, whether it be Portland. I was kind of trying to see whether you were mentioning Charlotte in that, given, you know, the inconsistency with LaMelo, given the inconsistency with not knowing really what's going on with Miles Bridges. I believe Ox has said it. Brandon Miller was a huge surprise for them this year, and so with Brandon Miller and Mark Williams, you know, maybe if we can kind of get some draft picks in there for the next couple of years or so, maybe if LaMelo doesn't show the level of maturity that we all think that he should have. Maybe we kind of move off LaMelo and get some other pieces in here. Because I know I've heard you say several times that you would have wished that Mark Williams would have went to New York. So, you know, but I was thinking Charlotte is one of those. I would say Charlotte is one of those top 3 teams, along with Brooklyn and Portland, that for the next couple of years, if Charlotte isn't going to be a true contender, that their next 2 or 3 draft picks for the next 2 or 3 years will be a huge benefit for the franchise.
They've actually gotten it right. Charlotte has actually gotten it right in the draft, though. I mean, Melo was an all-star before he broke down and got hurt. Hopefully, he's not made of glass. You already know how I feel about Mark Williams, and I think that this kid Brandon Miller is the future. So I think they've gotten it right. They do need their draft picks, though, but I think it's Brooklyn more than anybody.
But do you think what hurts LaMelo though is a lot of immaturity and lack of defense? Just
I think it's them bullshit
what you see
shoes he
from
had.
Melo.
That's why he broke down. It was them bullshit shoes he had. That's what it was more than anything. That's why he broke down.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah,
I ain't mad. But anyway, man, I appreciate you folks for having me up here, man.
Absolutely,
Hey,
no
Ox,
doubt,
man,
no doubt.
I'll give you Keldon Johnson in the first round pick for Keegan Murray, man.
All right. So anyway, let's move on from that. Appreciate you. I appreciate you pulling up, fam. But you went too far.
Click.
Right.
We done with that.
Hang up too fast. Hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and kick him out the lobby too. Get out of here. That's my man. I appreciate you, Tim. Before we get out of here, y'all, I gotta remind you, the PCL is not over. Those was just the first 4 rounds. That was round robin play. Now it's time to get to business. It's the tournament time. This is more exciting than March Madness. We still got 16 of the best debaters in the world all together on one platform to be a part of the PCL. The playoffs are starting. First round of the playoffs starts September 4th. Do not miss it. We need you there for support. We need you there. Check it out real quick. Let me see. We have the rankings right here. Check out the rankings. These are the matchups coming up. Still at the ranked 5th has OG the Beast. So chill. That you got OG the Beast this coming Wednesday, right?
This Wednesday, 9:45.
Any thoughts on that?
No, it's good. It's gonna be good stuff. That's my man. We got a history. It's gonna be a lot. OG is a lot to deal with. Yes, he is. But I'll be ready. I will be ready. You ain't got to worry about that. I will be ready for him. So he's a really good counter puncher. So I got to be ready for it. I got to be ready for that, and I will be.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, y'all make sure to be there September 4th. Don't miss it, man. Don't miss it. Come check it out. Like I said, man, 16 of the best debaters on the internet come together to be a part of one tournament. It's going down. If you've missed any episodes, man, go ahead and check them out. Go back, watch them again, but don't miss this one, y'all. With that being said, we are out of here. Chill, you got anything for him?
Hey, man, put on a suit, drink water. Don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We'll see you soon, guys. But until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely, man. We will see you guys soon. No doubt about that. Yeah.